to have me unalived because of him making a sexual pass at me. It wasn't the sexual pass that frustrated me the most. What made me most frustrated was the fact that he tried to unalive me after it, when in reality, even though I was drugged, even though I was violated, I never thought that the next step would be my life being threatened because you got turned down.
Y'all, Stefon Diggs just got exposed for allegedly saying yet another man, and Cardi B is convinced that Offset is behind it all. Another man came out a couple of days ago with some wild claims about Stefon, but it looks like this is probably just a setup, but the timing is wild enough that it might just be believable. Offset was just exposed for allegedly trying to set Stefon up to cheat on Cardi B with an IG model. And not long after that, there were rumors that he tried to have Stefon lined up to get jumped. Y'all, that situation barely had time to cool off before a new allegation showed up out of the nowhere. So now Cardi B is dragging Offset for filth and accusing him of being a salty baby daddy. And this seems to be the last straw for her, because she is determined to finally put an end to Offset's BS once and for all. So, let's get into it. Well, it looks like Cardi was right when she said, "When I tell you these ninjas ain't is, please believe me, they going to F on anything. These ninjas way too easy. Good for nothing. No done dirty dogs, I'm convinced. Next time you see your mama to her house, she raised a yawl. I swear every time we start to think that Offset couldn't possibly go lower, he does something to prove us wrong. But this time he's about to find out that Cardi is not the one you want to play with. Be careful with me, because him allegedly setting up Stefon to be accused of SA isn't something that she's about to let slide. And the wild part about all this is how calculated it all is. For context, a couple of days ago, a man who goes by Baby Banks came out to hint that he had tea on the boyfriend of a female rapper, saying, "I used to talk to all these female rappers' current boyfriends." But for obvious reasons, everyone immediately thought about Cardi. Now this is where things get a little interesting though. See, Bibby is an OnlyFans creator, and he creates adult content. Insanely graphic adult content, if you catch my drift. He's also one of the girls. He's gay. And I know y'all have heard about all them rumors about how Stefon is allegedly on the DL and likes men a little too much. But anyways, Bibby followed up with his tweet with this post and delete where he said, "Hate to do this, but I will be stepping forward about certain things I felt I've had to keep private." Now, at this point, we already knew that the tea was about to be juicy, but we had no idea how juicy it would be. Get your teacups, girls. He did another post in the lead of a conversation between him and Chris Griffith. If that name sounds familiar, it's because Chris is the other man who accused Stefon of SA last year. So it's kind of interesting that BBY will go to Chris. But in this conversation, it seems like Bibby sent Chris something about Stefon but deleted it because Chris wrote, "Man, why you send a message about Diggs?" He followed up by saying, "I just got a briefing on who you are and I respect your privacy, chimp. Tell your story when it's time." Baby then replied, "I'm so sorry. I saw what happened and I really felt bad. I definitely don't mind saying something. I just would have to get permission from my team, but I appreciate your message for real." Now, this conversation happened in October 2024, over a year ago, which was just a few months after Stefon's brother was found guilty of jumping Chris in an elevator. We're going to get to Chris's story in a little bit, but the timing kind of suggests that Bibby was looking for someone who had gone through the same thing with Stefon, which is why he reached out to Chris. So, what's going on with Bibby and Stefon? Well, according to reports, BBY is supposedly claiming that Stefon has aided him, and he's threatening to sue. This is supposedly the reason he deleted his second tweet, as well as the screenshot of the conversation with Chris Griffith. And like I said before, Chris was the perfect person for him to have gone to, because Chris has also claimed last year that Stefon has ate him. Chris works as a stylist for a lot of big names, so he's always around celebs. Now, you probably saw that TMZ video of him getting jumped in an elevator by 3 guys. But here's the thing, that wasn't the beginning of the story. According to Chris, things actually started a few days earlier at an event he went to with Stefon Diggs. And that's where everything supposedly took a wild turn. Chris claims Stefon spiked his drink and then tried to pull a diddy on him. And what makes it even messier is that Chris claimed that Stefon had already tried flirting with them before all this, but he shut it down and made it clear that he was straight as F at first. Chris wasn't even going to expose Stefon, but then him getting jumps probably changed his mind. He tried to take it to multiple people in the industry, including Drake, but nobody was trying to hear anything he was saying. In a screenshot of a conversation between him and Drake, Drake wrote, "You asking me to post a tape about you ratting on people, G? I just don't really come from a family or a friend group or a city where that's acceptable. I live by a code that's become law. We all just got to deal with our own ish off here. Not telling you to be no super gangster or tell you what to do, but it made me feel super weird. You would think that I would be into supporting that type of stuff. Not Croy. Long story short, nobody in the industry has had his back and he is eventually forced to call Stefon out on his own, which is how things got so messy. Stefon eventually got sick and tired of him and fought a lawsuit against Chris about 2 weeks ago for Leal, denying that he has aided and drugged Chris. But Chris then counters Stefon a few days ago, and according to his lawyer Mr. Griffith is looking forward to showing the world in court that regardless of the fairy tale fabricated by Mr. Diggs, Hyrick New York lawyers, he is the of Mr. Diggs' unwanted advances and his brother's attacks. Now, that's all very messy, but it gets messier because this is how it all ties back to Baby's story and why Cardi is accusing Offset of setting Stefon up. Insiders are saying that Cardi is convinced that Offset is playing a nasty game. The way he sees it, if another man accuses Stefon of SA makes Chris's claims more credible, and no, Offset is not doing this because he cares about the victims. He just wants to be able to call Card's man gay. And y'all, when I tell you that Officer has been real strategic about this whole thing, he should have been using that strategy for his career. But I digress. From what Cardi is saying, it was carefully thought out. First, there was this leaked graphic video of Stefon. Now at first we thought that it was him with a woman, but people in the know are saying that that's a man in a wig. And according to sources, Carter believes that Officer was behind the leak as a part of his ongoing efforts to out Stefon as gay. But it didn't stop at leaked videos, because Cardi is also convinced that Offset is behind the numerous blind items that have been calling Stefon gay and exposing him for allegedly essaying men. One of the blind items said, the former A-list female rapper has a lot in common with her new boyfriend. Both of them have been accused of drugging men they were attracted to. Another blonde item said stuff like, the Ulus NFL player knows that everyone talks about him being with men, which is why he makes sure now to be photographed with lots of women throwing themselves at him. And so, the NFL player that hooked up with the married former A-plus rapper while she was pregnant is now being accused of essaying men. So yeah, looks like Offset has been putting his back into hatting on Stefon for a minute now. And honestly, the timing of it all fits together really conveniently. It has only been a couple of days since he got exposed by an IG baddie in some text. In the text, Offset said, a bad ninja, give drop or don't come back around, and she replied, make sure I'm nowhere near delete these texts. And Offset said, Vince the now send message. She then added, Offset keeps violating me but stay in my phone asking me to help set up Stefon. Please, Superintendent D, he did not feel bad about it at all either, y'all. And he did not feel bad about it, and instead decided to be messier by claiming that Cardi and Stefon's baby was actually his. And that was real weird because he tried to deny being the father of Card's third child, Blossom. And Cardi had to go above and beyond to prove that he was the father, which probably explains why Blossom never smiles around Offset the way she smiles around Cardi. But anyways, after Offset was exposed by the baddie, it got even worse because there were rumors that he was also allegedly trying to set Stefon up to get jumped and hurt. Someone in the know also confirmed this, tweeting, I just learned this is Offset's assistant's ex-girlfriend, and the evil man is trying to get Stefon shot. Both him and Carter need protection orders immediately. He even sent the message the day after he made the My Kid post. Marcutti was so sick and tired of the shenanigans that she broke down on social media and tweeted, you'll be thinking it's funny and it's not. It's been over a year and I'm still being harassed and threatening to the point that I feel like my life in danger. It's all fun and games until it's too late. My efforts do anything for attention and it could get real nasty in just one upload. Leave me the F alone. In another post, she revealed that she was concerned for her life and was scared.